friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. So glad you are here. Come on in, settle in. If you are working on a creative project, let me know what it is. If you're kind of crafting along with me, or if you're just relaxing, that is wonderful. Today, I'm going to share with you my Patreon rewards I am offering for November. So each month I come up with a theme for a digital journaling kit that you can use in your personal journals. I come up with 1 page of original characters that I have drawn, and then I come up with a background that you can print out and you can use. So you can use both together, you can use them separately, whatever you want. And they are up there for the month, and then once we change over to December, it will be a new theme and something else. And one thing I thought I would offer this month that I can offer every month, but I guess I didn't think of it before, is I'm going to offer the character sheet as 2 versions. One will be a colorized version that I've colored in, and the other one will be black and white. So it's basically like a coloring sheet that you can color in. So I will show you now. Here is the sheet of the creative dragons, and they are all cozy in their caves and they are keeping busy. And this is what they are up to. They're doing some of their favorite activities like reading. And then this one's doing scale rubbing. So holding a paper up to the dragon and getting a crayon and rubbing and getting a little scale rubbing print on that paper. They're sending some happy mail. We've got some stamps here and a little envelope here. They are writing. They are journaling. Getting some paint everywhere. They've got a little cup of something there. A treasure journal. Got to keep track of all the treasures. They are stamping using their own little paws with claws. They're just going across the floor. And painting. And this is a Bob Ross sort of dragon who's painting happy little trees on the canvas. So I have those characters for you. And then, as I was saying, I also have the black and white print that you can print out and color in. So you can make this whatever color. So if you don't want to do green, or you want to do something more vibrant, you want to do neon dragons or black and gold dragons or whatever you want to do, you can go ahead and do that. You can customize them however you would like. And then for the background, I made a homemade paper and then I scanned it. And this is supposed to be like the floor of the cave. So I used some paper, I used paint, I used stamps, I flicked some paint on there, some watercolor gold, and I had some glitter on there. And I made this dragon paper, so you can see like the scale rubbings here, and you can see the papers on the floor. There's paint. So, it's kind of like when we're doing our creative stuff and we have things drying over here, or maybe they're going across the floor, or we're sort of surrounded by different projects. So that's the idea for this is kind of like the beautiful mess in their cave that's around them while they are creating. So this is my Patreon journal where I try to do each month and put in what I am offering. This was a freebie last month. This was a special trick-or-treat freebie. You could get these little characters, the Wonky Cauldron, and make your own potion. And that's what I was going to say too, is that you can go to my Patreon, and if you want to become a member, that'd be fabulous, and you can get this kit. But the other thing you can do is just come over and become a follower, and that costs no money at all, but you will still see updates if I make public updates, or posts I should say. If I make posts that are public, you can see those, and if I have a freebie for everybody, you can grab it. So it's worth it to follow not just myself, but anyone, any artist or creator that you like. Go and follow their Patreon, because you just never know when there's going to be a freebie. Okay, now that being said, let's get into this. And you know me, I like to tear this paper and kind of put it here. Usually I kind of have a border with this. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe I want to cover one whole side. I'm not exactly sure. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut these out. Then I'll kind of figure out how I want it to be placed. So let me cut these out and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have cut out all my little dragons and everything right here, and I like to leave a little bit of a white border around them. They almost look like little stickers. And you could even glue these onto like a cardstock if you wanted them to be thicker. And you can also print them out in any size. Just change your printer settings. I've printed them smaller and used them in my Hobonichi, and that's been really cute. All right, let's rip it in half. But I don't want to use the ruler because I don't need it to be neat. In fact, I don't want it to be neat. Well, the bottom could be neat. Isn't it funny how we say things and then instantly we're like, we do something that we said like we weren't going to do? All right, let me see. I don't mind if these are kind of, these can be, oh, that was a bit much, but that's okay. All right. After this, I think I just want the top to be, yeah, and then maybe, let's get rid of the sides here with the white. And you may have a printer that prints borderless, so you don't get that white around the edges. Mine does not. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, so that way I've got my little bag of pens here. If you see that in the corner, that's my little bag that's just chock full of pens, all different things that I like to use in my journals. So sometimes a little sticker. You never know. So I'm thinking I wanted this to be sort of top and bottom like a cave. So I think I have to tear this piece a little bit more. Kind of make that like the top and the bottom. I could even have that kind of going over a bit. Like that. And then I could even have this over here like that. Oh, this is actually, you know what? I could even have torn it so it almost looks like it has those stalactites, stalagmites. I forget which one goes down, which one goes up. And I want to leave a little bit of white space somewhere for my writing, so I'm just figuring that out as well. And then just have these guys all over the place. And this guy's pretty big, so we want to make sure they have space here. You know, this dragon, maybe they're stamping upside down, who knows? Reading one. And you can cut off the words too, which I might cut that off because you can always add it in later if you want. I just did that to add a little something, but you certainly don't have to keep that. Let's see, I do want to have the scale rubbing and the little footprints. Those can kind of go like that. And then I've got my header right here, which I could just kind of put up there. Now this guy's a little bit big, unless I put him down there, and then my reading guy. I try to give you a lot of options, so it doesn't mean you have to put them all on one page because there's quite a bit. But this way, you can get a couple pages out of it. And I just want this stuff to, this stuff is just supposed to be, it's supposed to be messy. The idea is this is a creative mess. But they are having a blast. And there's no wrong way to do this. You know, you can just put these guys anywhere, literally anywhere on the page. They'll be happy to go. Everywhere is good. And the little details can float around there, and you can print them out as much as you want after you download them. So, you know, if you do something and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like that, don't worry about it. You can just print them out. Sending happy mail. So, yeah, something like this. I don't know. I probably should have glued the background on and maybe not done this much. But this is kind of how I usually work things out. So now when I go to put them back on, they'll probably look different, because that's the other thing that happens is I position them one way, and then after I glue it, they wind up going on different. But like I said, you know, they will look good no matter how you put them on. They'll look like they were meant to be there. So you cannot go wrong with these dragons or with any of these printables. They look like they belong on any part of the page. Oops, I didn't get that quite down to the bottom, did I? I want this to be down as low as I can get. And then in the crack there. And then this one goes on top of this one, right? So I gotta glue this paper on next. But yeah, I had a good time also creating this background paper. This was a lot of fun. It will actually be the exclusive video on my Patreon as well. I will have an exclusive video of how to make dragon paper, which is this paper here. So if you're interested in that, that will be for members. And I will probably have some free goodies. I am not sure. I would love to do something for Thanksgiving. I'm just not sure if I will be able to do that. If not, I definitely want to do something for Christmas. Or I should just say for the holiday season, because not everyone celebrates Christmas. But I would like to do something for the holiday season. And I'm hoping I can do something for Thanksgiving, because I am thankful and appreciative of all of you. And I would love to be able to give you some freebies. So sometimes I do like a sheet you can print. I've done some phone wallpapers before. I may do something like that you can download and you can put on your phone for fun. I haven't made it yet, so I can't tell you what it is. But it's on the list, right? It's on the list of things to do. Where did I have this guy? I didn't use him. That's what it was. Okay, and then I could just have some stuff around here. That works for the bottom row. Why is this crooked? Hold on. Alright, there we go. That works for there. So let me get something to glue on top of. So I've got this old magazine that I can just put an image on, glue, and then it doesn't matter if I go off the edge of the image because it will just go on this old magazine that I've already harvested. Yeah, so this is the time of year. It's getting cozy around here where I am. I know my Australian friends are going into spring or are in their spring, you know, getting warm, but here in the US it is getting cold. Well, actually I shouldn't say that. Just where I am. Depends where you are in the US. We got everything. But for me, it's getting cold and it's darker earlier. It gets dark about 4:30 p.m. now, so it you know, if you need that daylight, now you gotta hustle because it goes quick. So like my studio here doesn't get a whole lot of natural light. There's one window, but it doesn't face the sun or anything, so I get sunlight in it, but it's not particularly bright most of the time. So that's why I have these lights on at my desk, and they're pretty good. But like if I come in here and it's after 4:30 and it's dark and I try to do this, I think it's actually even harder to see what I'm doing. But yeah, the lighting situation is not great in this, in this particular room. But it works. You know, I can make it work, and I am happy that I have a little space that I can go in and shut the door and, you know, just try to have a little, sneak off and have a little time to be with you, do these kind of things. If you hear a little noise in the background, I have my electric heater on in here because it's so cold in this room otherwise. The heat that heats the house does not get up here without having the little electric heater in here. Then it gets really nice and toasty in here. So if you hear a little something, that is what it is. It's just that little heater humming away over there. It does a really good job, though. It's pretty new. We just got it, I think it was 2 years ago. We picked it up, and it made a huge difference. Now, where did I want this little guy? Here? I think we want him here. And the little tail can go across the book there. And then I had these, but I also had this guy, right? So where's he going to go? Or do I want these kind of like that, and I want him here? I don't think so. Or I could have them coming in like that. I think I'll do that. So yeah, I'm always changing stuff as I go. That's what we do. We can edit and change whatever we want. And this guy is just stamping away. This is pretty good. I actually got almost everything on here. Just a little stamp here. Do I want that here or over here? I think I want it up here, actually. This dragon looks like a Sir Quentin Blake sort of dragon. It's got those kind of eyes that are popping. I draw all different sort of eyes and stuff and characters when I'm doing this. It's like sometimes they come out kind of goofy and cartoony like that, and sometimes they're a little more like cutesy. Sometimes I do a little dot eye. Sometimes I do a bigger sort of anime kind of eye. I'm going to put that sending happy mail there. Did I use... Wait a minute. I didn't use the coffee mug. Oh no. Oh, here it is. I thought I lost it. Gotta have the coffee or the tea. You know, whatever you like. Now, should I put it over here? I feel like... Or I could put it up here. I don't know. I feel like I need it down in that corner. Just to kind of balance that out. The only guy I didn't use was this one. Hope he doesn't mind too much, but we will definitely find a spot. We'll definitely find a spot for you, little guy. And I can also put him in my Hobonichi. That's probably what I will do. Because I didn't put anything in there, and I like to have a little something. And I even have a little scrap of this paper. So I can put that in my Hobonichi too. My Hobonichi, by the way, is my journal I use for daily journaling, usually like family stuff. So I don't share it a whole lot on here. Okay, I had to have a sip of my seltzer. Alright, so we will write... Alright, so we've got Creative Dragons right there. So now, let me get out my trusty pen. Here it is. This pen writes really small. I've shown it before. I'm going to just show it again because I never know if someone's new and they don't know this. But this Uniball Signo is really nice. It's 0.28. And it's really nice for writing. It writes very small and it just feels really nice in your hand. So I like this pen a lot. Especially when I'm going to try to write like in here somehow. And I picked out 3 mild liner colors that I thought kind of went along. I almost went with like sort of some retro colors here, like oranges and no, not oranges, yellows and greens. So I kind of got my retro colors here. And we'll just write, I think I'll just write November 2023 over here. November, and then maybe I'll make the 2023 bigger. And then once that dries, I will actually go over it. I'll put a little detail in there with this pen. And now just do a little bit of writing. Alright, so I just wrote a little bit, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of, what am I going to do? Am I going to do a cloud? I'm just going to do a little bit of this. Kind of underline this. So we have that, and then I'm going to go over this writing as I was saying with this pen. Kind of make it messy and bubbly. And now there's some big trucks outside, so you might hear that as well. Alright, and I feel like it needs a little something. I think I'm just going to make some stars around, just because I feel like it needs just a little something in between. And I just always like stars, so even though it's not like an outside, but you know what, maybe it's just like a twinkling in the cave, right? You could have little twinkles in the cave. I'm going to add purple ones too. These are just some little twinkles of maybe some minerals, or maybe it's just the light catching the water on the wall. And I'll just do some dots too, just to make it, I don't know, I just like to do this when there's a little space here. I just kind of like to add a little something. You certainly don't have to. You can keep it white and pristine if you would like. Okay, so here are the pages for this month's Patreon rewards, Creative Dragons Getting Cozy in the Cave. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great time, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.